All right, you're good to go.
Okay, so I first want to thank Michaela for giving me the opportunity to do a team call, even though I'm so hesitant and so nervous. So bear with me. I hope that I give you guys tools you can use. So I'll just give you a little bit of background on me first. I was raised in a small town in Idaho. We lived on our family potato farm. We did, the whole potato harvest and all that fun stuff. When I was little, I would go work with my dad during potato harvest, and it just continued up until I was old enough to, go on my own and fun things like that. We had a fallout with our family, so we no longer worked at the family farm, so we moved into town. And it was kind of heartbreaking. I moved when I was in junior high, so I was in that awkward stage that I was still trying to figure out who I was and what I was doing and, getting to that awkward body image and, trying to figure out where you are in life. So the summer after we moved into town, I had read a book about a girl who would eat, like packages and packages of ding-dongs and candy and food, and then she would go throw up somewhere, like out in the woods or something. So I had, started to gain weight like you do in junior high, and you're awkward, and I had decided that maybe I could try that. So I did, and one day, of course, I don't know what I was thinking, but I tried it in junior high in, school. And, of course, I got caught, handled, and my parents found out. And my parents didn't know what to do. They kind of scolded me a little bit, and that was just how it was. So I knew I wasn't done. I didn't know how to lose the weight. I didn't know how to be healthy. I didn't know how to eat healthy, things like that. So I took the alternative and started skipping meals. Well, it worked, and I was back down to my 7th grade size when I entered into 9th grade. That's when I started dancing, more so every day. I would dance. I danced when I was little. I did all the competition and, solos in Lagoon and things like that, and it was all good and fun when I was little. But then I started actually doing big competitions on the drill team when I got into high school. And that's when, I realized, well, I'm not small. I need to, get down to a smaller size so I can kick higher, so I can turn more, so I can, do all of these different things that I wasn't able to do. So my eating disorders and self-harm continued through college and up until I met my husband. He helped me to see that it was either him or it was my husband, my family, everything that I had loved and, all that. I chose him and my family, of course. I have since continued to struggle every day. It's not something that goes away. But I've learned to remind myself to eat. At times I, could go all morning and all afternoon and then realize at dinner time I haven't even ate today. I have to avoid double and triple workouts because that's what I was doing in high school. I was dancing all the time, every day, every chance I got, just so I could burn up those calories. Then, after having 2 C-sections with my last 2 boys, it was hard not to double up on the workouts because I knew that I was going to have a harder time trying to get my abs back after those C-sections. So I didn't want that voice to tell me that it was okay to overexercise because obviously it's not. After having my boys, I developed severe postpartum depression and post-traumatic stress disorder with my last NICU baby. I was miserable. I was lost. I had no idea what I was doing with my life. I cried all the time. I would just burst into tears all the time. I fought with my husband over stupid things. And after listening to myself and realizing the only way that I was going to get over this depression was to lose the weight the healthy way. I could not get over the depression if I went back into that eating disorder. So, right about at that time, it was about a year after I had Peyton. He was my NICU baby, and it was just, that year was awful. So, about a year after he was born, that's when I really started noticing Michaela and watching her videos and, things like that. And I really absolutely loved watching her do Insanity. At first, I thought to myself, well, that's hard. That looks rough. And, I did all the research and I looked up all of his programs and watched a few videos that showed him and, all that stuff. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's hard. But then I thought to myself, if I don't try, I won't know if I can do it. So I started doing Insanity in February. And then I got through the 2 months and I was down. I've lost like 15 pounds and I don't know, somewhere around like 10 inches or something just in those 2 months. And I was surprised that it actually worked because I wasn't consistent. I didn't have the Shakeology. I just had the program. And so I honestly didn't think that it would work because I wasn't consistent. Like I said, I didn't do them every single day like I was supposed to, and I wasn't eating the exact way that I was supposed to, but it still worked. So in April, my birthday is in April, and my husband kept asking me all month, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want? And I just kept saying, it's fine. I don't need anything, no big deal. And then Michaela went to Cancun, and they were introducing size and, all that fun stuff. And so I finally said to him, I want a coach. And so he said, okay, that's fine. And he honestly handed me $100 and said, do what you need to do. And so I started coaching in April and sadly lost myself about 3 months into it. And I stepped back for a month. I missed, but in that month that I was gone, I found out that I missed the girls. I missed our friendships. I missed having you guys have my back and to give me that extra support every day. There would be times that I didn't want to work out and I didn't want to drink my Shakeology or whatever, and I would get on and see a picture of, one of the girls with their Shakeology or one of the girls in a video working out or something, and I was like, crap, if they're going to do it, I have to too. And so I would, and I always felt 20 times better after doing it. So I came back, and I've been stronger ever since because of it. I feel like one of the reasons I quit was fear. Fear that I would have no support, fear that people would make fun of me because we live in a small town, and if someone does something outside of the ordinary, it's like you're talked about for 2 months afterwards. Also, I was not into exercising before other than dancing. I didn't lift weights. I didn't go to class and lift weights, like they have a weights class or whatever. I didn't do that. I maybe did a few sit-ups or something, but I wasn't hardcore into it. I never have been. So I was fear of the word no. I hate being told no. I like it better when people are, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and try that. That's so much easier for me. So I hated that. And that's when the self-doubt always crept in. So this time around, I've done things differently. And I have found 6 ways to overcome fear. So the first one is make a sincere effort in everything you do. Don't write a post and say to yourself, okay, I promise I'll message every single person who likes or comments, and then only choose certain people. It doesn't work that way. If they're giving you the satisfaction of saying, good job, or, you're so strong, or things like that, and they're liking your page, your posts, your videos, anything, you have to message them all because they are watching you and you are coming back and showing them that they are important. They are the ones that need, the help, obviously, or they wouldn't be watching you. Make an effort to get to know the goals, needs, and wants of your customers. Don't just single them out because you think they can afford it. You never know who really can afford it. The second one, positivity. It's part of our 3 vitals. Obviously, it's important, right? Personal development is key to what we are doing as coaches. Positivity will make or break your day. I know most of us, if not all, have kids. Like me, if they wake up early, you choose to be happy or you choose to be upset. For instance, the last 2 nights, Peyton is getting 2 of his bottom teeth, and so it has been monstrous. We've slept for like 2 hours every night. So I could choose to be, happy that we're waking up and that it's a brand new day, or I could choose to be ornery and mean and feisty because I have 4 hours of sleep in the last 2 days. It's just happiness and positivity will bring good things to your day. Like I said, I know my day is so much different when I choose to be happy. Number 3, perspective. Learning to deal with your fear is all about putting your negative thoughts into perspective. We tend to focus far too much on the negatives in life. You must look at all your options, and when you do, you will realize that you're making a big deal out of nothing. The last couple days, I've had a few customers that I've been talking to for the last, 3 weeks, and, they keep looking into it, and they keep asking about all these different programs and asking questions about Shakeology, and I get really pumped up because they are interested, and it's fun to talk to them and to get to know what they need and what they want and what they're looking forward to in a couple months. And then just yesterday I had one say, okay, well, thanks for giving me all that information. I'll just have to talk to you later. Like, it's just sometimes it's a huge letdown, and it's a negative when you get all pumped up for that, and then you get okay, maybe in a couple months or something. But you also have to look at that positively and say, okay, in a couple months, I'm going to write her back, I'm going to follow up with it, and I'm going to say, okay, here's your couple months, what can we do now? What are you looking forward to in the next couple months, and what would you like to work towards? I do this, I make a big deal out of nothing constantly. There are so many things that can happen that it's impossible for us to predict who's going to say yes and who's going to say no, or who's going to want to do something today, and you just never know. We aren't psychics. It's not something that we're meant to try and decide. So number 4, you must know you have meaning. I believe we experience trials in life for a reason. When Peyton was born, I don't know how many of you know the backstory on Peyton, but he was born 38 weeks, normal pregnancy, everything was great, and then he was born C-section and came to us at 3 pounds, 15 ounces. We had no idea that he was that small. So when it first came about to me, I freaked. We didn't know what was wrong with him, if things were going to be normal for his life, if, we were going to constantly be back and forth between hospitals. We had no idea. It was up in the air. The doctors had no idea at the hospital. So we were sent down to Primary Children's in Salt Lake City, and we found out he was born with a rare form of diabetes. He's one of 22 in the world, and so there's not much known about him. But I feel like that trial was given to me because I was totally clocked out of being a mom. Like, I would do my mom things every day. I would clean the house. I would feed the kids. I was a total robot. I was not even, I wasn't looking at life. I was just living it. And so I fully believe that we experience these trials for a reason. It includes every single fear we feel, but it also includes overcoming that fear. We are all stronger than we believe, and I personally have learned that firsthand. I did not know that I could go to the hospital for 73 days and see my baby and leave him. I had to leave him with people I barely even knew. I mean, I grew to really know the doctors and the nurses and, everybody that associated with Peyton. But the first couple weeks, I had to leave him and come home, and it was awful. So we learned lessons from overcoming that fear. The lesson might not be 100% visible all of the time, but on most of the challenges I look back on, I see that they were delivered exactly what I needed at that time. So number 5, WTWCH. What's the worst that can happen? My husband says this to me all the time. What's the worst that could happen? They could say no. That's the worst to me. And I, like most of us, I know, hate hearing that word no. Well, in this job, we praise that, right? We see who can get to 100 no's first. So we know that we'll check back in a couple months, and it's not a huge deal. It's okay. life totally goes on, and we find the next person, or one of our customers refers us to their sister or their cousin or something like that who we don't even know, and they refer them back to us, and we gain a friendship, we gain a relationship, and we start fresh and we start new. So number 6, understand failure. When I realized failure was not the end of my world, my mind was free. I have a big fear of failure. I always have. I was the type in school that if I didn't get an A, I freaked. If I got a B, I was like, oh crap, is my dad going to kill me? What's going to happen? Things like that. Failure of dancing. I remember a specific time in one of our competitions, we did a headstand in one of our dances. And there was like 6 of us in the front, and we had to nail that. And I had nailed it every single time in practice. And then we got to the competition, and I went out on the floor, and I realized that a certain someone was sitting in front of me who had just broke up with me 2 days beforehand. And I totally screwed up the headstand. I fell out of it, and I had to, go down and hold it until the next move. And it was awful. I felt like I totally failed the entire team. And so later on, throughout the competition, we get the results back, and we actually won first place in that said dance. So I didn't fail. I made a mistake, and I learned from it, and the next time that we did the dance at the next competition, I nailed it, because I learned that obviously it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't huge like I thought it was. So failure is just a stepping stone to success. And then, it is. Number 7, breathe. This is huge for me because I have bad anxiety attacks. So more so since we've had Peyton, but I had, driving, I can't drive. Driving back and forth to Salt Lake was awful for me because I hate the semis on either way of me, and it's just bad. So I've had to learn to breathe. Your breath can set you free. It anchors you in the now and can help you overcome some of your greatest fears. I saved this one for last because it's one of the simplest and most powerful ways of overcoming fear. All you need to do is breathe. Take a step back, take 10 minutes for yourself, do a breathing session, recuperate, and invite 5 more people. It's not something that you need to worry about. Don't panic and let that ruin your whole rest of the day, because I know that's big for me. Even when I put my first video out on Facebook, I literally sat there after it had, I added it to the post or whatever, and I sat there for 5 minutes, and I was like, should I do this? Should I not? Is this something that people are going to totally, laugh about me? Is it, what do I do? And I just sat there and breathed for a good 5 minutes. And I put it on and just said, you know what? It's fine. If people laugh at me, if they unfollow me, if they unfriend me, then were they really my friends to begin with? Were they really there to support me through everything I'm doing? And I figured out that I had multiple comments, I had multiple likes, I had 2 people the next day after my video say that video really encouraged them to work out that day, even if it was just to go for a walk or just to go for a run or, something simple like that. I encouraged them, and that made me feel amazing. I felt so good after that. So don't be afraid to just put yourself out there. Overcoming fear is something that takes time. If you find yourself rushing, slow down and take it easy. Do one thing that scares you every single day. Living outside our comfort zone is no way to live. Living inside our comfort zone is no way to live. Not doing things that frighten you will probably most likely make your fears bigger. Making the decision to not let fear hold you back anymore is one of the best decisions you can make to ensure your future is successful. It's not simple, and it doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, it took me 2 months to decide that I wanted to coach after finding out that I really can make a huge difference in not only myself, and I wanted to do that for other people. But taking that action and running towards your fears daily will give you great results. You will be able to get rid of your fear when the time is right. Trust your heart and always, always do what resonates with you. Everything that you want in life is past your comfort zone. Don't let fear be the reason you live a half-lived life. So thank you so much, you guys, for listening, and I hope that you can take away something from this. So I guess I'll just turn it back over to Michaela.
Oh my heck. Okay, that call, amazing. Everyone needs to send it out seriously, because I feel like this is something that we all struggle with. We all struggle with everything that she talked about. We struggle with, I talk to so many of you, and you struggle, we all struggle with the invitation process. We're nervous about stepping out of our comfort zone. We're nervous about that. And this is like, she hit the nail on the head. Like, it was perfect. I don't think anyone could have said it any other way. So I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Kylie, thank you for doing this for us. I know it was out of your comfort zone, but you rocked it. So I know it's a call of many for you. Keep on reaching out to people. Keep on, facing your fears, you guys. And I will see you on the team page. Have a great day.